we have nationality traits, like the Russians, the Ukrainians, they're very different from the Filipinos because of the high and the different fraud level. The level of fraud is different. Nigerians is very different from Sudan, very different from South Africans, very different from Kenyans, Afghanistan, Pakistan, so it's all different. Like a fall of the Shah in the 80s and 70s, a lot of Iranians come to America. So with that, we did a lot of cases. But then the Marriage Fraud Act came in 1984, and in 86, IRCA came in. So all these are new changes, 1990, in Mac 90, 3 strikes you're out by President Clinton that affected ADAPCA. So we really have a lot of new things going in the past 35 years. I'm also lucky because of the history I've been doing in it, because once I started out in this practice, we used to have no secretary, 1 desk, and that's me. So I would run to immigration, run back, because there's no Xerox machine there, so I would run back to the office, make some Xerox and run back. But now immigration is growing. In those days, it's a very small department of DOJ. In the olden days, it's with the Labor Department, then with DOJ, now it's with DHS, which is Homeland Security. So some of the interesting cases we have done, we did Tony Pena, Jose Mesa, we did a lot of great tennis players, we did a lot of high profile, but my pride and joy is really working with the everyday cases. Each country, in the olden days, is quota, is priority dates. Now it's still quota and priority dates. Actually, in the olden days, it's hemisphere, Eastern Hemisphere, Western Hemisphere. But in 94, the Civil Rights Act came in. 95, the Quota Act came in, both by President Johnson. So people like us, I came in 69. Actually, Taiwan kids came in 66, 65, 67. And then Hong Kong kids came. And then the PRC came en masse in the past 3 or 4 years, because Hillary Clinton, before he resigned or retired from the State Department, really make more tourists and students come from overseas to enjoy our education system, to enjoy our touring, because our country, one of the increase in trade from our country should be from tourism and from education, foreign students. Because foreign students pay 3 times the school tuition than the in-state pay, because foreign students have an F1 level and then the general admission, and then the in-state tuition, which is lower than the general admission in all public schools. So in the past few years, you see a lot more different countries coming to America on F1s. But about in the 60s and 70s, because Nixon and Kissinger did not open up the Far East until 72 visit, 78 visit. So en masse, or the Chinese came after 78. But the Koreans came a lot earlier because of the Korean War, 51 to 53, the Korean War. So Korea and the Philippines, of course, in the Second World War, Philippines is a strong ally of America. That's why in order to be a great immigration lawyer, you really need to know the world, read the newspapers, know the history.